So hello and welcome once again to my layout New Junction. It's been a few weeks and some of you may be mistakenly thinking I've not been up to much, but believe you me, it has been an incredibly busy few weeks. So before we can even get into what's happened on New Junction, it has been remarkably busy, a busy summer so far, of railway-based events. Now the biggest one, and the one I'm sure you haven't missed, is the Greatest Gathering. Now that was hosted in Derby. Now that was a few days ago as I'm recording at the Alstom Depot on Litchurch Lane. Now that was a fantastic event. It was there to basically celebrate 200 years of the modern railway as we know it. But also it was an event to celebrate not only enthusiasts, hobbyists alike, where the real railway industry and the model railway industry could come together and celebrate a 3-day event. Now, 40,000 people came into that site. Now, there are times where you wouldn't know it because it was I think it was a 10-acre site or similar, but there are times where you definitely would, but it was absolutely fantastic, and I'm sure anyone who was actually there would also agree. You can probably tell by some of the photos I'm throwing up on screen now that I was enjoying myself as well. Now, being the summer, it is also time for the Chester Cathedral Making Tracks exhibition with Pete Waterman and the Railnuts team. Now, it is widely rumoured this is potentially the last one. So if you want to go and see Chester, or you want to go back to Chester, do make the effort. It is well worth it. And this year, the cathedral has pulled out all the stops, because not only have they got the layout in question, they've got a pop-up trader. Ignore that, this railway runs absolutely fine. So as I was saying, Making Tracks is on for the summer, and it is the last time potentially that it is running at the cathedral. Not only is Making Tracks there with the Railnuts and the team, etc., and the usual, you can have a go, you can drive on the layout, pick up a ticket, it's completely free, and away you go. But they've also this year, they've gone to town. They've got a retailer, in this case Chester Model Centre, who is there. You've got pop-up shops, you've got societies, you've got heritage railways as well, and there's even an art exhibition from Tom Connell, who did the big drawing of the original Making Tracks at Milton Keynes. He's back. Loads to see, and that's on top of the cathedral itself, and of course Chester, should you like a historic Roman city. Now, one event in particular which happened a couple of weeks ago, which I'm particularly personally proud of because it's been a remarkable achievement, is Accurascale had a locomotive, a DB Class 66, named after it. So watch this space. I'm going down the layout. Oh, here it is. Look at this. Oh, can you see that? Now, this is one of 3 nameplates which was made for the event. Now, DB honoured Accurascale by naming one of its newly painted Class 66 locomotives because of all the charity work we do at work, raising money for people like prostate cancer and Samaritans, etc. And of course, Martin's House Children's Hospice, which is the DB charity of choice. And here it is. I borrowed this just to show it on a video, but I'm particularly proud of this because it is a real achievement. It's very difficult to do what you enjoy for a day job and then also try and give something back. Lots of companies, particularly in this industry, do try it. It's always well supporting. So yeah, shameless plug. You can't get much more shameless than that, but I'm well chuffed for that. So bringing it back to the layout, you can probably tell I have some new additions. Now, before anyone goes too crazy, these aren't mine. So I've got the brand new Accurascale Class 89 and the Class 60 here in the background. Both are sound fitted, and both, funnily enough, have just come back from the Greatest Gathering show. So I'm just testing them to make sure they still work. But wow, as I'm filming this, both are dispatching. I think it's DC versions first, and then the sound versions following. And of course, my own one will arrive soon as well. But these are absolutely very impressive. Now, obviously I work for Accurascale, but I'm sure we can all appreciate a nice new model when they come out. I can't decide whether the 60 or the 89 floats my boat a bit more. Very nice to see. Not that you'd be able to tell right now, but they are, as I mentioned, they are sound fitted. But with all the trains running, it'd be a bit pointless. But close in, these have very nice loco recorded sound files. And I'll show you a clip now, just to tease you with. Of course, I will do individual videos on both classes because they're new additions to the layout. Once they arrive, I should add. But yeah, I'm very excited to have these on the layout. Particularly when the 60s arrive, because it took me a long while to save up for them, because I may or may not have ordered a few too many. Right. So locos aside, it's now time for me to show you what I've been doing here on the layout, in amongst all that. So I wanted to start in the middle just because it makes sense. So in a previous video I showed you I put in the shelving underneath, and as you can see the boxes are starting to fill up and they're very nice and neat, which is always a nice thing. But as you can see, from the boxes come the trains, and here they are. Now, yes, it's a nice collection, but it's not the biggest collection in the world. It's taken many years to start building these up. And what I tend to like to do is to have a train per running line, and when I'm finished laying the tracks, I'll have 12 lines. So in theory, that's 12 trains. Several will be doubled up, so things like the Lumo 800 here, there'll be room for another one behind it, for example. But no, generally speaking, I like to have one train per line, just so I can leave trains running. So I'm going to give you a quick run through about what's on the layout. So on the first line we have the Climate Hero Class 66, followed by the Bachmann HRAs, I think they are. Now, famously, the I Am Climate Hero loco goes with the Freight Belongs on Rail. Now, I quite like this rake because it's very colourful. It does need a bit of weathering down in the future, but I'm still saving up one by one and building up the rake nice and slowly. Behind that we've got the Network Rail 31 and some, I think they're repainted Hornby Mark IIs over there. Next in line we've got a Class 37 followed by a rake of PCAs. Then we have the Class 60 sample, which I've borrowed from work, followed by the Drax train. Now, as you can see, there's quite a few of those. Now, what I actually did was recently, I got all my sort of odds and sods that didn't really fit here on the layout anymore, and I actually traded them in with Rails of Sheffield, actually. I compiled a list, and you do it all online, and yeah, they gave me a nice credit note for various bits, and yeah, it bought me this rake of Drax wagons, which I have to say, from Hornby, were extremely good value, actually, because you got 2 in a pack, and I think they were sort of the £30 each type number, which in this day and age is not too bad for a quite substantial hopper, in effect. But yes, they're very nice, and they go with the 60, of course. You've got the two 800s, the 801 and the 802, I think, or 803. The LNER job, the 9-car version and the 5-car Lumo. Sorry, not Lumo, TPE. I would like the Hornby Lumo, and I thought about it, but they're a chunk of change. I think the RRP of them is about the 550 mark, which when it's your third one, I think that's a lot of money. So I have noticed that there's the odd retailer now just taking the price down. So give it a few more weeks and months, and maybe we'll see them a bit more tempting, and I might treat myself, pending pocket money, of course. So the longest line in the middle has the 92 and the sleeper set, the 16-car sleeper. That is still by far my longest train, even longer than the Drax train, and also longer than the 91, which is here. Now the 91 has a 50 on the other end of it. If I can just zoom you in, you can just see it right in the middle there. And that's because I'm currently going through a bit of chip woes with the Hornby chips. I just need decent stair life, so I've come down this end, and as you can see, I've got the 50 on the Mark IVs currently. Then behind that, I've got the another 66 Evening Star, which is now not the last 66 ever made, because they've turned it into a 66.6 in real life. That's got the GBRF hoppers, and then I've got the 89 currently on the West Coast Rail Tour, which would normally have this sort of guest loco on it, whether that be a steam engine or, in this instance, this Hanson and Hall Class 50. So that is the fiddle yard as it stands. I still have 3 lanes to put in. A HST will go on one, and I wouldn't mind a bit more freight, but also I wouldn't mind. I'm after smaller multiple units, so I know Bachmann are hinting at a Class 170 in their videos, so if we see one of those, that would fit nicely. I've got the old, just see it down here actually, I've got the old cross-country version. It doesn't work particularly well anymore, it's a bit old-dated, but give that a service and away we go. But yeah, 158s, 170s, that'd be very nice. So all I need to do, lay the track, my last box of track, to complete the running lines. I'll add some edges to the heritage side, and I'll also complete the passing loops. I'll do a couple so I can store trains for the heritage line as well, because they're everywhere at the moment. I've got a handful and nowhere to put them. So all these little jobs that just need a calm afternoon with no camera. Coming around to the main scene again, it's starting to look a bit tired in places. So again, this is probably just going to need a good afternoon of fettling. I think I'm going to paint the fences. There's little There's little jobs I need to do, such as you've just seen it. There's a tiny piece of track which I've cut for the baseboard joint in between this point here and the baseboard joint here, which has no electrical connector. This needs ballasting down here, you know. It's all these little jobs that just need doing to tidy up. I could paint the girders as well. But the main job, which I've been working on, has been distracting me, is finally using the 3D 3D, using the laser cutter, concentrate Richard, you can see the bridge finally is appearing here on the heritage line. Now, it's been rather complex because it's not just a straight over bridge. I'm learning the new software, I've done a waiting room so far, but then putting this at 45 degrees has made it interesting. So let's take this off the layout and we'll take a closer look, and I'll show you where my thoughts are going. Right, so here it is. Now this is a very much a work in progress bridge. Now, just so you know where I'm at, as I mentioned, the first time I've ever done sort of this before, it's not just a straight over road bridge, because it's also on a 45 degree angle with the track, which makes designing it in 2D quite interesting. So I'm pretty much tweaking it as I go and finding out where my mistakes are, if you like. But it's all part of the fun. I'm really enjoying this. But how it starts. Firstly, I've used some 2mm MDF, and this is the basic frame. Now, the bridge itself is based on the Arley Station overbridge on the Severn Valley Railway. So for those of you who've been, a lot of you will recognise it. Hopefully, anyway. So the idea is to make a strong 2mm MDF frame, which I'll then clad with basically 1mm ply, which I will then add the detail to, the brickwork. Now that's proving quite interesting, getting all the various layers and designs, and I also don't want it to be too flat, so what I'm doing is I'm building up the layers, and certain things will be raised and further embossed, etc. But yeah, as you can see, this is the current template so far, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So a couple of important things at this stage is, one is it's going in the right direction. I'm happy with the size and the shape, etc. It fits the railway, it fits ultimately the road that goes over it, it's the right height. So there's lots of things to consider building this road bridge. Now this is probably the fourth go at building one of these now, and each time it gets slightly better each time, and I learn different things, and yeah, it's coming on really well, I think. I mean, I've even got like the brickwork to go underneath the tunnel once it's in. So I've been practicing on that, making sure I don't cut too far through the ply, because it'll snap, of course, it won't be bendy. So yeah, it's proving really quite fun. So more on this as it comes, and also I'm getting far too ahead of myself. I have acquired the Rail Centre Stone Bridges paint kit. So as you know, with the platform stations and the buildings, I've also got the Rail Centre ammo kits, and here's another one. I thought, why not? I'll pick this up recently, and again, I'll put links to this down below in the description. So those to one side. Also, while I'm here, and I don't know why, I've got a table, and all of a sudden I'm doing a lot more painting and building and things, which is really rather refreshing, because in the garage there was never enough room, and it wasn't the best environment to sit in and do a project. So I'm doing lots more painting. I mean, you can see there's some more platform details down here. I've got bins and salt grit bins and things like that on the way. But I thought I'd get myself a wet palette. Now this is from the Army Painter, and the idea is that when I'm using my brushes and things, normally I just leave them to one side or soak them in a cup of water, and then using my cards for some dobs of paint. But the idea is with this is I can work and close it, and then in theory come back to it another day and it'll still be wet or usable. That the jury's still out on that one, because as you can see, I've not actually taken it out of the box yet. It's just, I thought while I'm here, I'll show you it. But I'll report back, probably when I get to painting this bridge actually. But I'll report back and let you know. And there we go. That's my work in progress back on the layout. As you can see, lots of work to do, but we're getting there, and it's a really fun project, I'm finding, just to get sort of stuck into. It's completely new to me. It's different. and I find it great. And just while I'm here, actually, I should say that I met Owen at the Greatest Gathering, who wanted to give me something for the layout, and here it is. It's I think it's a 5-plank wagon, bit of tarp, a few sleepers, and that just looks perfect. Dumped at the end of a siding, absolutely fantastic. So thank you very much for that. Right, so then coming back down further on the layout. So here we are. Now this is the space which is going a bit nuts, because obviously I'm working on the station, fettling around, which I'll take you for a close look in a second. Plans are in place to address the Heritage Line station. Now that's one of the big tasks I think will probably end up being done as the months get colder, and I've got more time here, basically. I have ordered a huge laser cut building. In fact, it's one of the buildings off Making Tracks, the Watford Junction layout. It's one of the flats, and I think what I'm going to do is build it up and plonk it sort of here and have a sort of a mini town scene in front of the railway, just to sort of add that impressive look. Not one of the big tall flat towers. It's one of the smaller ones, but they're big for this layout, so that'll look good. So coming to my work in progress station, believe it or not, it's coming on quite well. Now I have annoyingly got to stick this platform down, but I was going to, as I've previously had to take the whole thing up already once, I'm not going to glue it down in position, which would normally sort that. So what I'm going to do is actually using, I'll probably end up using magnets or washers screwed in from underneath, just to hold it flat and in position. That way, when it goes to exhibition, it can come out if it needs to. But the main reason I wanted to show you the station is not only because of my cheeky waiting room, which I think looks quite good, and it matches the one on the opposite side quite well, but I've noticed a distinct lack of current modern image bits for sort of East Coast Main Line stations. So I've been working on a few sort of bits and pieces myself from various people, or designed myself. And the first one you can see next to the waiting room. So you've got the modern image ticket machine here. It's 3D printed. This was a test piece, and I think it looks quite good. It matches exactly the ones that are at Thirsk. So if I zip round to the other side, we've also got things like the wheelchair fold-up ramps as well. And then if I bring you on the other side, we actually have a second variant just in the doorway of ticket machine, and then the modern image help point, which is the white circle on the other side. And something I couldn't believe I couldn't find, it's actually modern image station signs. This is a first test run again, and also we've got, as you can see on the back here, poster boards. So they're designed to fit the Sankey Scenics modern image stickers, or posters I should say, not stickers, and they work very, very well indeed. I think they just sort of add to the scene, really bringing it on. And of course, if anyone's interested in a couple of these, just comment down below and let me know, and I'll make a handful available. And talking of making it available, I've just made a handful of the a handful of the waiting room kit available. So that's this building here. If you'd like one, links down below, of course. But there you go, bit of fun and a bit of New Junction. Bridge-wise, that's next on the agenda. I've got a lower cut version, which I just need to cut out basically on the laser cutter. And I'll bring you a comparison, but I'm going to do a test trial run of painting these up as well, which will be quite fun. And there we go, we come to the end of another update video. Now before I go, I want to ask you a question. I want to propose a question for your opinion. What would you guys think to a model railway based podcast, which would be filmed and also hosted, so you can either listen to it or you can just have it on in the background. So it's not necessarily a video you have to watch, but it's a video you can have on and listen to while you're modelling. So what I've found is I do a lot of work and things off camera, and then I've just got either videos on or podcasts on, particularly in the model railway scene, and I just wondered what your thoughts were. Is it a pointless venture? Would you use it? Would you listen to it? That kind of thing. Not in the way of videos, but as well as. Yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts on that one. So as I mentioned, the waiting room, there's just a handful available if anyone wants one to have a go. Otherwise, I'll see you very soon in the next video. And of course, I want to say a big thank you to you at home for watching. A big thank you to the channel members and patrons, of course, without whom the lights would literally be off. So thank you very much. And yeah, I'll see you very soon in the next one. I'm looking forward to it. Ooh, bye for now.